I remember coming to Bangkok for the first time in 1983. Obviously, I tried mango sticky rice. I became an addict. I really had no inclination to eat at a restaurant with white tablecloth or general restaurants, even in hotels. Um, I found that I could eat like a king on the streets. And when I started cooking, I wanted to work with, chefs that presented a plate and constructed it and had the colors and the textures and all the stuff that um, that makes their food ridiculously expensive. When I got to Vietnam, I realized that a lot of my culinary heroes cooked in their pajamas. That they made just one dish and they made it really, really well. And it had all of the complexities that all the great chefs look for, but they could do it sitting on a stool day in, day out, and it wasn't that difficult to make. So my type of appreciation for that grew here in Asia. I mean, look at the knives they're using in the markets. Do you see any chef using those knives? No. But all of a sudden, that knife, is it a knife? Is it a cleaver? Is it an axe? I have no idea. And they seem to be able to break down a half a pig in 5 minutes. I've never seen anything like that before. I see Vietnam as a street culture. It's, some people say, but it's embarrassing. We sit on plastic stools. I'm like, you can't get it anywhere else. People come here for that. People that were visiting Vietnam in the early days were a little different from the people visiting now. And so a lot of those people that were visiting were really interesting. You didn't have access to them, but they wanted access to you because you knew the place better than them. It's like, what would bring you here? How did you create this in the middle of this? So I was in a restaurant, in my restaurant, and I was struggling, and a guy comes in, and he wants to meet all the cool people in Hanoi. I wasn't one of the cool people. I just happened to know all the cool people. And we start hanging out, and he says, we should do a TV show together. And I'm like, everyone's telling me we should do a TV show together. It's not what I do. I'm a cook. But I was so broke, right? He says, he gets his director in and says, let's shoot a pilot. And I wasn't very good. I didn't think I was very good. And then they gave me the video, and I was like, that's not half bad, actually. So I sent it to my friend David, whose wife had suggested we do a TV show. And I'm thinking, if I could do it with a friend, that would really be very meaningful for me. He decides to fly into Vietnam and shoot at his own expense a day in my life. I get the band out. I've got like the Madonna of Vietnam singing in my restaurant, all these really interesting people in my restaurant, and they shoot this, take the boat ride, showcase Vietnam or Hanoi for what I love about it. And he gets this 5-minute teaser. This little teaser video has ended up in the hands of some people in Asia, and it ends up at Discovery. They got this show called World Cafe. They said, I got the host. And I really am like this in real life. I hang out at markets in my free time. I like to hang out with different people from all walks of life to see if I can continue a conversation. It's part of my survival. I'm not Egyptian Chinese. I'm not concerned about our differences because there's a hell of a lot of that. I'm more interested in our similarities. Enough with that. And then I traveled, I broke out of Asia, and then I was in the Middle East, Latin America, and then I was doing these restaurants as well. I'm just following the patterns, just to open a restaurant, open another restaurant, open another restaurant, write a cookbook, and that's not me. I'm not part of the machine. I'm not a clog in the system, even though I am. I need to do what I need to do to make me happy. So I took a break from everything. And then I got a call from the Middle East saying, I got a business opportunity for you. Business opportunity for me in the Middle East? That's never happened. Sure. And it was Top Chef Middle East. What do you do next has been a progression of just keeping it open and going with the flow. It's like, I don't want to, swim against the stream, right? If everyone wants to go to Wall Street, doesn't mean I should be on Wall Street. I should be doing what I love. And if I do something that I love, then I'm not working, and I don't want to work. There's the idea that I can express and educate and share what's happening of what I feel as a global citizen. Yeah, so I was doing Foods at Heel because when I was filming my shows, I gained about 2.5 to 3 kilos within 3 days. My digestive system would be really taxing. While I was filming, I was learning the history of food. We used to fight our wars over these ingredients, and these ingredients were medicine. And now I'm seeing a lot of food as poison, and it's killing everyone. 7 out of the leading causes of death are diet-related. So I took a course at Cornell under Dr. Colin Campbell who was the author of the China study. And I started looking at what to eat and what not to eat and why we should be eating certain types of food. So generally, you want to be eating a whole grain, a whole food diet. And you want to really remove all meats and dairy. And so I kind of like try to look at food in a new light, not for satisfying my ego to make, structurally or complex dishes and stuff like that. I want to make food that heals. And that's my new thing.